You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Spend less time staying in the know about all things gaming and more time actually watching and playing what you want with the IGN Daily Update podcast. All you need is a few minutes to hear the latest from IGN on the world of video games, movies, and television with news, previews, and reviews. So listen and subscribe to the IGN Daily Update wherever you get your podcasts. That's the IGN Daily Update wherever you get your podcasts.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neil. I'm here with Jeff, Ken, and Matt. How's everyone doing today?
Good morning, Neil.
Good morning. Good morrow.
I'm exhausted.
Matt's exhausted, even though you're just slurping down coffee from that San Diego mug you got. What's going on, Matt?
It's not helping. I went to a music festival 2 days ago, and the headliners started at 9:45 p.m., which
that's
was
too
not
late.
For me. Too late.
Too late.
I want to be
Matt.
in bed by 9:45.
We're too old for Rihanna start times at concerts.
Is that when they were supposed to
the
start,
problem.
or was it like the Madonna thing where she starts 2.5 hours
No,
late?
if it was Lauryn Hill, she would just be starting right now. Actually, I think that's how it works.
Yeah, just be done by brunch is over and she's ready to go.
The next day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was staying up late doing the more age-appropriate thing of watching that guy build the log cabin on YouTube for like 6 hours.
He built a log cabin by hand?
Yeah, just hand tools, no power tools. By
Wow.
himself. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I couldn't put together an end table.
I put
That's
that.
terrible.
Yeah, me too. I put that on to kind of drift off. It's really good.
Does he have a soothing voice?
No, he doesn't
There's
talk. He
nothing.
just
you know, footage.
when he stacks like the 80th log, and you start drifting a little.
Oh,
bit.
nice.
Yeah.
So it's not the TikTok guy that usually wears suspenders and he's really jacked, but he's very, very smart and conscious.
No,
Okay.
This guy's like unusually strong for his build, probably from building the log cabin for
I like
for
that.
4 years straight. Or
On your
whatever it
Tinder,
was,
unusually strong for my build.
Yeah.
We have a special episode for you today. We have someone returning to the Sweat Lodge, which no one really ever returns here, but she chose to
Usually
be here.
don't want to.
Yeah, right. And it was very hot last time, but she chose to be here again, and it's so exciting to have her back, coming to us from Carmel, Indiana. Savage Superstar on Patreon. Bethy, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Thank you so much for coming back. It's so great to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Yep, I can't avoid the Sweat Lodge. Got to come back.
Yeah, last time we had a bit of an adventure, right? We did an escape room, had some fun on the town,
Had some
did
sushi.
some shopping. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun day. And your sister was with you that day?
Yep, Bridget was with me. She had driven from D.C. to Indiana, and then we drove from Indiana to the Chicagoland area. So
Quite the commitment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you just got back from Mexico?
Yep, went for a little birthday trip for a friend for the week. So got to do some scuba diving and chilling in the sun. So
And
nice.
we're the cherry on top, apparently.
And
Oh, the
yes.
pause.
Oh, you're the cherry on top.
Yes.
I thought you said
No.
where the cherry.
No, we are.
I was like,
The podcast.
Yeah,
You
Neil
are the cherry on
surprised me
top,
once by
absolutely.
wearing the cherry on top.
No, we're more than nuts.
That's
Sprinkle
true.
of nuts.
Because it's kind of good, but it's also a little
Like
inconvenient.
some people
Little
don't
bit of a
like the
chore.
nuts. Really.
I don't like the
yeah,
nuts.
I
Yeah,
don't
neither.
either.
Nuts don't belong in dessert.
they don't.
That's what your
Thank you for
mom's
being
want.
here.
You ever had a turtle?
Just to remind people at home, what are you up to in Indiana?
Well, I mostly stay home with my 2-year-old son. And other than that, I work as a chemo nurse. My husband was the title of the show last time, Dr. St. James. So
That's right.
That's right.
we're always just having fun. And we also have Sophie, our dog. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, do you ever give her a choice between meat or veg?
It's an impossible choice.
She has this nasty canned meat that she loves. So
Well, at least she loves it. It just makes me think of that video of someone, I think it was in England. She was like, "Oh, my dog is a vegan," and they're like, "We're going to put it to the test."
Yes.
So then they put meat. It just went right to the meat.
I saw that. That's right. Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, thank you for being here, and we're so happy to have you here after your trip to Mexico. Our next guest is going to be playing with Matt today. Always a pleasure to see her. Our original Dutch girl. We have Dutch boy Willem is our official Dutch boy, but Gaudi is our official Dutch girl of the podcast, and Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon. Thanks, Gaudi, for being here. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, guys. It's been a while. I'm good. Been rather busy. Had a few job changes over the years. But since the beginning of this month, I got a new job. So, or last month actually. So,
congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
great.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Well, it's always fun to have you on the show and to represent the Netherlands. You're going to be partnering with Matt today, and I think in honor of you with your new job, Matt, what's your team name going to be today?
Yeah, and I didn't get too much into the weeds, but I know it's something to do with mortgages, so we're going to be Death Mortgage Note.
There you go.
All right. And Jeff, you and Ken are going to play Say We Flipped a Coin. You two won or lost, depending on how it goes today.
Yeah, me and Jeff are a team. I've recently had a little adventure in property acquisition, although it failed. The seller did something improper, but still legal. So our team name is going to be Improper, but Legal.
All right. It's probably how the property brother got Zooey Deschanel to be his fiance.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Improper, but Legal versus Death Mortgage Note. Bethy, any preference on the rules read?
Can we do Patrick Warburton?
Oh, okay. All right.
We absolutely can.
Oh, yeah. Patrick Warburton. Let's hear it.
Rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds, worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there will be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated, have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. End of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop. Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
All right, so feel free to take away, Bethy. I'm just going to keep score and try and stay out of the way.
Okay. All right. Round 1, question 1. Let's sound this out. What civilization with major cities at Tyre and Byblos was responsible for the first mature alphabet in the Mediterranean? The alphabet consisted of 22 characters, which evolved into modern Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic alphabets.
All right, Jeff wrote an answer that's both sounding correct and clever, so we're locked in.
We could play all day what it's not, because I got lots of those answers. What did you say?
Greek, Hellenic.
Okay.
I think I'd go with that. I don't know anything
I would go with that too. We're going with that.
beyond that.
All
Fine.
right.
Yeah.
They got a Hellenic
We said Phoenician.
for phonics.
And that's correct, Phoenician. I got the idea from writing on Spaceship Earth. They talk about them developing the first alphabet. So, and I wondered, is that where the word phonics comes from? I couldn't really find a direct link, but probably.
Well, I had gotten hooked on
That makes
phonics,
sense.
and around the 2nd grade, I was hooked on it, and it took a real long time to get off. So,
Well, thankfully, the DARE representative came to talk to you.
yeah,
Talked you off of phonics.
yeah.
Okay, round 1, question 2. In 2011, a college football matchup caught me off guard when the team I thought would be crushed, the University of South Florida Bulls, eked out a 23-20 victory. This matchup was random on the surface, but not when you find out that the USF coach is the son of a famous former coach of the losing team. In the late 70s, Dad resigned from his position as head coach of the Jets after a 3-10 season. However, his luck changed in the late 80s and early 90s when he dusted off the college team's fledgling program and took them to 9 consecutive bowl games. Who is this famous father and his team for 10 points, and who is his son for 2 bonus points?
Gaudi, is this your expertise?
No, absolutely not.
Are you able to lock in there, Matt?
Yeah, I don't believe discussing American universities and football is going to be much advantage there. So I'll lock in.
Well, I heard the word luck in there, so maybe it has to do with Andrew Luck somehow, but that's all I've got. Good luck, Jeff.
Ken and I don't know, but we heard luck in there.
I heard luck.
So we're going to say Jim Fortune.
And his son, James Fortune. That's the same name.
Please, Jim was my father.
And his mom's maiden name was Bold because fortune favors the bold.
Yeah, and there's also a group of people that are often thought of as lucky. The Irish. I think it might be the Fighting Irish. I think it might be Lou Holtz as the coach, and I believe his son is a little Skip Holtz.
And that is correct. So 12 points for the mortgage team.
Listen, I did my part by identifying the luck aspect. So,
well, Gaudi's a huge Fighting Irish fan. You can see from the poster behind her. So it was all Gaudi on that one.
Should have known. Don't we have a Lou Holtz rules reading?
We do, from Marcus, which is so good. It sounds just like him.
Forgot he was at Notre Dame.
That was going to be my next hint, was the rules reader and imitation.
Oh, man. All
right, round 1, question 3. Sometimes Indiana can be international. Thubten Jigme Norbu, and I apologize if that was a butchering, was exiled from his Asian country and settled in the USA in 1950. He was a professor of his region of origin at IU Bloomington and led many demonstration walks for this region's independence. What is the title of his more famous little brother for 10, and what region are they from for 2?
So we're looking at, and we're looking in the 50s, and we're talking about either freedom or something along those lines. My thought is that maybe something with India and something with Buddha would be the little brother's title, because they said title.
That might be, yeah.
But I forgot what we're actually answering. What was the first part of the question?
The little brother's title and the region.
And the region where they were born.
Yeah.
In, I think.
So that could be Tibet, or it could be...
Yeah.
They're always trying to free Tibet, from what I recall.
I think it might... Yeah, Tibet is a good guess. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go Tibet and Buddha.
Okay. We are also going with Tibet, but we think maybe the little brother is or was the Dalai Lama.
And that's correct. So the Dalai Lama is his little brother, and yes, they are from Tibet. Round 1, question 4. I'm realizing I should probably change the title of this to Right in the Butt, if anybody saw that recently. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune is constantly spinning. Hopefully you are somewhat familiar with the game show Wheel of Fortune. In the final round, the winningest player goes to a bonus round where he or she is given a blank clue, a subject, and 6 starting letters that will hopefully nudge them in the right direction. For 2 points each, what are these 6 letters, which consist of 5 consonants and 1 vowel?
We're locked in.
Oh. I played a lot of Wheel of Fortune on the NES, and they did not give you these letters, and I always thought it was rude. You had to pick them. Gaudi, do you know this one?
Well, I know Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
We used to have a Dutch version of the game, but...
Hopefully they give you the same letters. I don't know.
I don't know. It's been a while.
I'm guessing the distribution's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
give
so...
you a J in Dutch.
How do you say Wheel of Fortune in Dutch, or what's it called?
Rad van Fortuin.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I would have played that too. In the U.S. version, they give you the old RSTLNE.
We agree with those 6.
And that is correct. RSTLNE.
Hey, points for both teams.
When I ran that past my sister, she said I could give some sort of Goosebumps clue.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Oh, yeah.
This is R.L. Stein's license plate.
And just for a reference, Right in the Butt was a viral video if you want to look it up. But just make sure you type in Wheel of Fortune after Right in the Butt.
Yes, please.
What was the answer actually? I forgot what it was.
Oh, that's a good question because I've just seen the viral video.
All right, round 1, question 5. Okay, we are splitting the first round in half with a listener submitted question. My sister Barbara got this right at a trivia night we won together. What product must be made by Victorinox for it to be considered official?
We can lock in, Ken.
Oh, Jeff knows this one.
Jeff with a fury.
Yeah. Well, if it's a Jeff question, it's probably either a fancy sports car or an abacus of some sort. I don't think it's that. I don't know. We're looking at, usually it's liqueurs that are specific to a region or a thing to be called something. I don't know. You think maybe like a champagne or a wine or...
Maybe something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Let's say that... Yeah, let's say it's a fancy wine.
Might say Matt is this of trivia.
You might say that, and the funny thing is the one that everybody thinks of is not actually the one that they make for the Army. This is the Swiss Army knife.
Oh.
And the sides on them are not red plastic for the Army; they're stamped steel, of which I have that issued. One
He had
in
to
my
join
collection.
the Swiss Army in order to obtain it. He's a real avid collector.
Joined it, and then you got discharged the same day.
I quit immediately. I was like, "Do I get the knife now?" All right.
Yes, the correct answer is Swiss Army knife.
And with that and a bunch of bonus points, after 5, it looks like Death Mortgage Note is going to have 26 points. And in the lead, Improper But Legal with 44.
Great. Round 1, question 6. In 1935, Claudette Colbert beat out Bette Davis for the Best Actress Award. What future ambassador to Ghana presented Ms. Colbert with the Oscar? For 5 bonus points, sorry.
No.
What was the movie?
You don't know the bonus, right?
No. Let's just lock in with the regular answer.
You agree?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
We were just talking about this like days ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, as soon as I heard Claudette Colbert, I was like, oh, wonderful.
You were talking about Claudette Colbert? Unprompted?
No, we were talking about the ambassador to Ghana.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
Because we thought it was like weird that
they chose that
Kwan
person
or whatever.
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
right.
ambassador to Argentina now or whatever it is.
I believe that's one of 2 ambassadorships this person had.
Well, based on that, because I believe that they were also then the ambassador to Czechoslovakia, if that was the clue, Jeff, thank you. And I have everyone on my trivia team drinks several Shirley Temples, so I see this all the time. So based on them talking and giving me some answers, I think we can lock it with Shirley Temple.
We said Shirley Temple as well.
No movie bonuses here?
No.
No.
It happened one night.
Oh, that's what I was going to say as a wild guess. I was like, it's not even any point to saying it. Oh, well.
Yes, Shirley Temple, and it happened one night. Round 1, question 7. In Beauty and the Beast, Belle's father sets off from her poor provincial town for a fair where he hopes to showcase his prize invention. What does his machine do?
Well, you can lock in.
Oh. I literally probably have seen Beauty and the Beast one time, and it was not this century.
I've seen it a lot of times. Let me think.
And you also live for that moment when the Beast turns human and Belle kind of looks at him like, I'm not as human anymore.
Yeah.
You grow that beard back out. This is whose father? Belle's father?
Belle's father.
Oh no. Maybe it's some kind of...
Well, I know his name, but I don't know what he
what's his name? Maybe it gives a
Crazy old Maurice. Yep.
Maurice, yeah.
Oh, Crazy Mo and his crazy inventions.
Mo, yeah.
What did it do, though?
Yeah. Is it some sort of beast trap? Is it ironic?
No, it wasn't a beast trap.
I think he approved of the bestiality. It just was Gaston.
Okay.
That's why the beast was so angry when he kidnapped him. He's like, what the is this?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me with this beast trap?
He had the patent on it and everything. Maybe
Beast
a coffee.
trap, TM.
I this is literally just guess. I can guess just things, but I have nothing of any kind of value to this conversation. Teacup glue.
Yeah, let's go with that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we think this invention was a little bit faulty. It cut wood, but not as well as the log cabin builder guy.
Yes, that's correct. I was going to give the clue of Steve Buscemi and Fargo wouldn't love it, but then you might think that it chips the wood instead of chops the wood. So, okay, round 1, question 8. A fun fact in my family history is that my great-grandfather was a career pilot whose pilot's license was signed by Orville Wright. My great-grandfather, Joseph, who went by J.H. rather than Jack, started his career in the 1920s and, according to a few sources on the internet, supposedly experienced the first of what airplane incident? He got in some trouble for failing to report it.
Okay. 1920s planes, the first of this type of incident, didn't report it.
It's not the hatch blowing off the side of the plane.
Yeah.
First
They were
plane
actually
crash,
built
I don't
better
know.
back then. Yeah. You think somebody joined the quarter mile high club? I don't know if they got up to a mile high.
Maybe.
I don't know how
It's
how
a tight
spacious
space.
their
Yeah.
their
Everybody could
cockpit.
see them.
Your great grandfather was giving some special tours.
That was the origin of Cirque du Soleil when they figured out the talent on board.
So probably not that. You think maybe
Sorry
it's
for annihilating your family history.
Was not a good man.
Do you think this could be like Bermuda Triangle related, like
Maybe.
radar
yeah.
failing? I don't know if they weren't even making transcontinental flights then. I don't know, but
I don't think they were that early.
yeah.
What about turbulence?
Yeah. I mean, I could see that being something, and you should probably report if it happens. Let's go with general turbulence.
Yeah, I like that answer. We're going with something a little different. We're going to say he was the first to experience engine stalling.
Well, the clue was that he went by J.H. rather than Jack, and I was hoping that would lead people to he was the first to have his plane hijacked.
Oh,
wow.
He didn't tell anybody? It's like,
You know
that
who he
won't
should have
happen
called? Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Or Harrison Ford.
Or Harrison Ford.
Or Samuel L. Jackson.
Or Samuel L. Jackson.
Or Samuel L. Jackson, yeah.
Was the plane hijacked by snakes?
Right, that would only work in that.
In some respect.
It's a snake, all right.
Okay.
There were hijackers in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the snakes got
released,
involved.
They released the snakes as a diversion.
And there were too many of them on that plane.
And I was tired of it.
All right, round 1, question 9. This fact gives me the willies. Many ancient sailors and pirates told stories of seeing sea monsters. Some of these looked like long, ferocious serpents or the tentacle of a kraken. With more knowledge and resources, many modern scientists believe that these ancient sightings were most likely what?
I think we're locked in here.
So I know I had just read this, and I think it was when I was researching these animals that regenerate their cells. I think it had to do with, those were jellyfish, but I think it's related to jellyfish. What do you think about giant squids?
Yeah, I was thinking squids, something like that.
Yeah,
Giant,
not quite
probably
kraken,
giant
but-
squids. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first thought, and I think I've heard this exact fact before. So I think we can lock in with giant squids.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, we also said giant squid.
That might be true in some cases, but with the hint, that this fact
Which
gives
we
me the
ignored.
willies.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
Orcas.
They believe that whales laying on their backs with big, massive erection.
Members. Okay.
And if you see footage of it, you could see how that looks like.
I like your
Just flopping around.
I like your nice Midwestern way of that might be true, but it's not.
Willy works in two respects.
Yeah.
Willy was
I
very
didn't
free
think
in that
about
sense.
Yeah, free Willy.
Oh,
Steamboat
jeez.
Willie. Riding down the river.
The more I'm hearing, the less I like the question.
Wow. Is that so? That's what Free Willy was really about, I guess.
I also like hearing that
charged.
the mermaids, the mermaid myth might have been what was it, manatees or dolphins
Manatees.
and stuff,
Yes.
and sailors were like, saw them and were like, damn.
They were just so dehydrated
It was
and
the scurvy.
Well, I say between the diseases, the dehydration, and the loneliness.
The absolute delirium.
oh boy, poor manatees.
Manatees started looking good.
Oh, boy.
Now, if you ate a mermaid,
Yes.
no, never mind. This is a discussion that's only contained on our crop drop, and
On
if you
Patreon,
want,
yep.
if you want to hear this discussion about possibly consuming a mermaid and what it might taste like, you have to subscribe to Patreon.
And if you sign up just for that, please email us and let us know, because that's
if
the
that's
kind
the kind of content that gets you, there's more where that came from.
Yeah.
Round 1, question 10. Ray Haroon is famous for winning the first Indianapolis 500. Before the race, he found a loophole around a rule that required a mechanic to be a passenger in the car by using this modern car staple. It was the first time it was used in a race car, but looking back, it probably didn't work that well as the course was paved with bricks, making for a bumpy ride.
All right. Well, we don't really understand how it all fits together here, but we're gonna go ahead and lock in.
I think maybe this is like a fuel gauge or some kind of. It'd have to be some kind of gauge that you wouldn't need a mechanic then, because your car's telling you or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I think maybe that's what we'll go with, just like a fuel gauge.
You might be onto something there. I wonder if it's like that or a temperature gauge. But ultimately, we wrote suspension just because of the bumpy ride stuff.
The clue in there was looking back.
Oh, rear view mirror.
There you go.
Nice.
Because let's see, he's credited in some places with inventing the rearview mirror, but he didn't invent it, and then it's credited with giving him an advantage, and it probably did just because he didn't have another body in the car to weigh it down. But you're on the brickyard and it's just shaking.
So during the early Indy 500s, there was a guy in the car whose job was to look behind you, be like, car coming.
That's what it sounds like.
On your left.
You got it.
Wow.
That wouldn't get annoying after a while.
Yeah.
No.
Surprised they haven't made a movie about that.
Like, you missed your turn. Like, again. Like,
After the first round, looks like Death Mortgage Note is sitting pretty with 36 points, and Improper but Legal with 64 points.
Not bad.
I disagree. We're sitting pretty.
Yeah.
I love the idea. I love the idea that you can miss your turn when it's just one continuous left turn for hours and hours.
So does the mermaid reference count as our Patreon ad for this episode, or do we have to do another one, Neil?
I don't know. I think eating a mermaid and how to eat a mermaid is a pretty good ad.
All right. Well, just remember you can join us at Patreon for as little as $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month. And you could go up to $5 to get all that bonus content. Otherwise, at $1, you just get ad-free, which is good too. So come support us at any level.
All right, Bethy, what do you have in store for the swing round today?
The swing round is matching brands to the mega conglomerate that they are made by.
Okay.
All right.
So I have 10 brands or 10 products, and then 10 mega conglomerates.
Okay, so let's have the question number be associated with the product.
Okay, so here are the brands. Number 1, Pop-Tarts. Number 2, Pillsbury. Number 3, Downy. Number 4, Axe body spray. Number 5, Twix. Number 6, Band-Aid. Number 7, Taco Bell. Number 8, Dasani. Number 9, Oreos. And number 10, Ralph Lauren.
It's really sad that I feel like I already know most of these. All hail the mega conglomerate.
Okay, and then the mega conglomerates are Nestle, Procter & Gamble, Mars, Mondelez, Johnson & Johnson, Unilever, PepsiCo, General Mills, Coca-Cola, and Kellogg's.
All right, we have our swing around ready to go. So we're going to consider these answers, and we'll be right back. And we are back, and we have some answers for these questions. So why don't you go ahead and read the brand name, and we will tell you which mega corporation we think owns them.
Okay. Pop-Tarts.
All right, we think that one is Kellogg's.
We think Kellogg's as well. Yeah.
Okay. And Kellogg's is right. Okay. Pillsbury.
We're going to go Nestle with that one.
We went with the General.
It is General Mills. Downy.
We think that's Procter & Gamble.
Okay, we had the other one, Johnson & Johnson there.
It is Procter & Gamble. Axe.
We're going with Unilever.
This one we went with Procter & Gamble, so we're wrong.
It is Unilever.
I love Unilever. They have like really positive, like affirming, like feminist Dove commercials, and then they also make Axe, proving that large corporations don't care about you.
Well, they've only got one lever, so
yeah, it's the only one they can pull.
Free Willy.
Twix.
We think that's Mars.
Yeah, Mars.
That's correct. Band-Aid.
That one's Johnson & Johnson.
We went
the
with
opposite
the
of Unilever.
Yeah, we went with the solo lever here.
It is Johnson & Johnson. Taco Bell.
That's Pepsi.
We have Pepsi as well.
That's correct. Dasani.
We think that's Coca-Cola, because I remember how they like overthrew society in order to get the water for Dasani.
It's not even that good.
No, it's the worst.
It has an odd flavor. I don't ever drink Dasani, but the rest of it, I always drink Coke products, so we said Coke.
That's correct. Oreos.
We said G Mills.
Okay, we have Nestle there.
It is Mondelez.
Oh.
And Ralph Lauren.
We incorrectly said Mondelez.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knows what Mondelez is here, so we also said Mondelez.
It is Nestle.
Okay. Oh, Ralph Lauren is owned by Nestle. Not that I wore Ralph Lauren, but if I did, I would stop.
I was going to put a second clothing brand on there, Lacoste, which is owned by Procter & Gamble.
Interesting.
Just blows my mind.
Don't worry. It's not possible to be ethical in a capitalist society.
Well,
so.
Nestle is especially bad, so.
Well, sorry, go ahead. That's okay.
I just always think of Scheinhart Wig Company.
Oh, 30 Rock. So good.
Oh, do you like 30 Rock, Jeff?
Did I mention this on the podcast? I was watching an interview with someone, and they said you can tell if someone can't afford Ralph Lauren if they say Ralph Lauren because it's pronounced Ralph Lauren. Anyway, I just thought it was funny because I was like, oh, for years I pronounced it Ralph Lauren. Go figure. All right. After the swing round, it looks like we have Roger Maris for Death Mortgage Note, which is 61, and Ricky Vaughn from Major League for Improper But Legal with 99.
So close.
So close.
So even though my bonus points are a little off, at least you get to use athletes' names.
That's right. Well, one fictional athlete, I suppose.
Round 2, question 1. Yes, you're very smart. Now shut up. This actor suffered from a retinoblastoma at age 3. He had to have his eye removed and replaced with a glass eye, leading to his signature squint, the look of a skeptical detective. Can you name the actor? I'll give you 5 points if you can only think of his most famous TV role.
All right, I think I remember the show that this guy was in and his character's name in said show. I know he was in Wings of Desire playing himself as an angel, but for some reason his name is escaping me and it's quite bothersome. But we'll lock in, and if I can pull it before you guys, then I'll answer. But otherwise, we're just locked in with the bonus.
Okay, Gaudi, we're looking for an old TV detective, I imagine. Which ones can you think of? Do you guys get Columbo out there?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm pretty sure it's Columbo. And the actor.
Do you know his name? The actor?
Peter Falk is Columbo.
Yeah, you guys are 100% right. It is Columbo. It's not Dragnet. So I was wrong on all accounts, and it is Peter Falk. But I had nothing.
Matt is 100% correct. And that quote I started the question with is my very favorite movie quote from A Princess Bride.
Yeah, where he plays the grandfather.
Yeah.
Matt, you know who directed the pilot of Columbo to get it all started?
No.
The one and the only.
Steven Spielberg.
But he was in Wings of Desire, playing himself as an angel.
Let's be clear. If Neil asks you a film question where he's kind of baiting you, it's Spielberg.
Oh, yeah. Or Tarantino. Probably.
That's true. He loves feet. Neil does.
Well, speaking of feet, we'll move on to football. Enrique Iglesias is a world-famous singer. His father, Julio, also enjoyed world fame as a singer-songwriter. The whole family might never have gotten into performing if Julio had not had his soccer or football career ruined by a car accident in the 1950s. Before this career-ending accident, Julio played keeper for the reserve squad of what La Liga team? They just won their 15th Champions League 2-0 against Dortmund.
That is the one I know, Jeff. So let's say it.
Unless it's
no, don't introduce
go through
another.
all of them.
Don't introduce another answer. Let's just stick with it.
Gaudi, you're in the land of football.
Yeah, definitely. I know all about it. No.
No. No, you're not following La Liga every day out there.
No, never.
I think I just saw this posted in one of the Facebook groups I'm in that this team hasn't lost a La Liga final to a European team since like the 1950s or something like that. It's some kind of crazy stat. I don't remember what it was, but the winners were Real Madrid, and they always win.
Yeah, I was thinking Real Madrid as well. So.
Yeah.
But must be a Spanish one, or at least a Spanish-speaking one. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
They haven't lost since Julio Iglesias blew it for them in the 50s.
Yeah.
We said Real Madrid.
That is correct. Real Madrid.
Or as I say it, Real Madrid.
I like that fake Madrid.
Atletico Madrid. Okay. Round 2, question 3. When was time immemorial? According to English law, all time before this monarch's coronation is considered time immemorial. I believe this monarch was a Gryffindor.
All right, looks like Jeff has a guess. My hints have been rejected, so we're going to go with Jeff's guess.
Gaudi, do you have any hints?
I'm thinking it's English monarch.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on the Gryffindor clue.
Yeah.
And just for the listeners at home, it's time immemorial, right? Not in memorial.
Oh, correct.
Okay,
Immemorial.
yeah. So IMMEMORIAL. Immemorial.
We don't know where it's in.
If you interrupt one more time, you're going to be in memorial.
Please take me out of my misery.
Gryffindor. That's Harry and friends, right?
Yeah, that's Harry and friends. You got all the old Weasley kids in there, but
King Weasley.
out of the out of the Weasley kids, I can name about a lot of kings going by either William, George, or Charles, but
Yeah.
King Weasley the Weasel.
maybe
King
Charles
Weasley.
II, because there was a Cromwell period before him, I think.
Okay.
And it was a non-monarch period. So.
Yeah. That's fine.
But other than that, I have no idea. So.
Yeah, well, I have no idea. British history is something I choose not to learn since we dumped that tea in the harbor. So don't have
fair
to.
enough.
Yeah. So King Charles II, that's what you said?
Yeah.
Locking it in.
All right. Well, we know Gryffindor kids are all brave. Hufflepuffs are what? Weird. Ravens
They're
are
the
smart.
leftovers.
Ravenclaws are smart, and Slytherins are evil. Like all kids, can be grouped into 4 categories.
Oh.
But we said what? Bill the Conqueror.
Yeah, although I think it's Richard the Lion-Hearted. But yeah, we're gonna say William.
You rejected everything I said, so
You have to be brave to be a conqueror, I think.
You have to be brave to reject Ken's answers repeatedly too, Jeff. So good job.
Yes, unfortunately, you realized the correct answer a little too late. It was Richard the Lionheart.
I've got a lot of correct answers inside me today, but not outside of me.
Yes.
Great film adaptation of his life starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, an underground street fighting ring called Lionheart.
I should have used a hint like that, huh?
Maybe for me, I guess, yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit like Aethelred the Unready myself right now.
Yeah.
Round 2, question 4. My son loves buses, so this gave me and my husband an excuse to start rewatching Magic School Bus. With our son, of course.
Yeah, okay.
There are so many fun voice cameos on the show, including Dan Marino, Dolly Parton, Ed Asner, and Rita Moreno. But we can't forget the Frizz, voiced by what groundbreaking comedienne? I wonder if Miss Frizzle's first name is Edith Ann. I guess that would be first and middle name.
We're locked in.
Was that on this show we just answered this?
It was a while
Possibly?
back.
Okay.
It was on here, but it was a while back.
I feel like I just learned this. So, Gaudi, do you know who's the first?
Well,
I think
this show's been running since time immemorial.
Immemorial.
Not immemorial. Immemorial.
I believe she plays Frizzle in the reboot too, if I am correct. What do you think, Gaudi?
I don't know. I heard her name, but I forgot.
Yeah. Famous comedian, funny lady, Lily Tomlin.
All right. We also said Lily Tomlin.
And that is correct.
What about that episode where she took the school bus inside David O. Russell to yell at him for his bad direction?
And then she expanded the school bus and blew up David O. Russell.
All right, round 2, question 5. Time for another listener submitted question. So this is just a little question for my husband. The NR-1 assisted in the recovery of the Space Shuttle Challenger, the exploration of the HMHS Britannic, the sister ship of the Titanic, as well as exploring many ancient Roman wrecks in the Mediterranean. What sets this submarine apart from others used for recovery and research?
So submarines, not sure. I think it was 3 attacks in battleship to sink it. I don't recall. Do you have any ideas offhand?
I don't know.
I think that my first thought was that these are either remote or it's like not manned, so that it can go. It doesn't have to concern.
It could go deeper than normal.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to worry about the pressure on the inside as much. So do you want to go with that? They're unmanned. It's an unmanned submarine. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually said the same thing. Unmanned and remote controlled.
The hint was that it was a little question, and it is the smallest submarine.
Oh. Well.
Also the cutest.
And the cutest. And it is also a nuclear submarine.
Nuclear.
All things that matter to my husband.
I appreciate that your husband asked a submarine question. It's very...
very Dr. St. James.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that question, Dr. St. James. After 5 in the second round, it looks like Mortgage Death Note is going to be picking up 30 points, bringing their total to 91. And Improper But Legal picking up 20 points, bringing their total to 119 and a sizable lead so far.
All right, time for a geography question. What 2 U.S. state capitals were named for people who were executed? One is on the East Coast, and this person was executed by the British government for treason, while the other capital is in the Midwest, and this person was executed for being a Christian.
Okay, they're locked in. Obviously, Gaudi, more U.S. history. This is up your alley.
Definitely.
So I think the Midwest one is St. Paul because he seems like a Christian, unless he was just calling himself that. And then it's stolen valor, and you're not allowed to do that.
Exactly.
The East Coast one, maybe Charleston. Maybe a King Charles or a Charles of some sort. I don't know.
Makes sense, yeah.
I don't think it's anyone named Atlanta or Albany. So
what about Tallahassee?
What about yeah, that's right.
Tommy Tallahassee. Come on down and get some of them gators over here.
Oh, actually,
it is Tallahassee.
No, I think
no, it's not.
After thinking, it might be Raleigh, North Carolina, for Sir Walter Raleigh.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they might have executed him. So we're gonna go with Raleigh and St. Paul.
Okay, good answers. We are going with Charleston because I learned the other day that St. Charles, what was it, the first, was executed.
I'm changing my answer back to Charleston, actually. So thank you.
You might still be right. So we said St. Louis for the other one. Maybe multiple saints were put to death for being Christian. That's what I'm guessing.
Full points to Matt and Gaudi. It is St. Paul and Raleigh.
Nice. That was 10 points.
Was St. Louis not put to death for being a Christian? Can we prove that conclusively? Is St. Louis the capital?
That's where the arch comes from, because he was on that rack where they pull him.
Is St. Louis the capital?
Of Missouri? No.
Okay, then never mind.
Oh yeah, what is it's Jefferson City, right?
Good job with the capitals, guys. I'm not so good at it.
I pulled.
Was there a Jefferson that was put to death for being a Christian at one point?
Probably at some point.
Jefferson was like what, a theistic or something. Anyway.
He was put on a starship.
There was a Roman named Jefferson.
Oh yeah, Jefferson.
An ancient Roman.
He was the IT guy.
Jefferson. He was put to death.
Moving on
Christian.
up, if I recall.
Okay, round 2, question 7. Don't put this on your hot dog. I'm a chemotherapy nurse, and although there are many exciting advances in the area of new cancer drugs, we still give cyclophosphamide, one of the original chemotherapy agents. Sadly, cyclophosphamide was used for a very different purpose as a chemical warfare agent in World War II. But after the war, studies showed a decrease in lymphoma cases among those exposed, leading to its use in cancer treatment. What somewhat appetizing name was cyclophosphamide called as a chemical warfare weapon?
Reluctant.
Yeah. In Chicago, you wouldn't use ketchup gas, is what I think we're getting at here.
Mustard gas, probably.
Yeah. I feel strongly about mustard gas.
Yeah, same.
I also feel strongly about it.
It's bad.
Do you get some
Strongly
mustard gas
against
after
it,
too
but
many
I like
hot
it on my
dogs?
hot dog. From the mustard.
The people who I live with say it's a war crime. So,
Okay.
Yes, it is mustard gas or nitrogen mustard. Round 2, question 8. The phrase, when in Rome, is commonplace, but do you know its origin? It is attributed to an early church father, the mentor of St. Augustine. The full phrase is, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. And this mentor was advising Augustine that it was okay to follow slightly different Christian customs depending on the local norms. Who is the saint who coined this phrase that now applies to society and social customs in general? As a hint, his name is the first name of an author who has been a lucky guess a number of times in the past on the show.
Oh, okay. They are locked in. Any of this ringing any bells?
Not really.
No. Whenever I don't know an author, I guess Ernest Hemingway, and I think Ernest Goes to Rome would be a great movie that I would watch.
That would be a great.
I would
one.
also,
Yeah.
I'd pray to Saint Ernest.
Saint Ernest.
Yeah.
Sunburn. I have no idea.
Could it be Stephen King? 'Cause I know there's a Saint Stephen, I think.
Saint Stephen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a finite number of saints, I imagine. So
Yeah.
I'm okay locking in Saint Stephen.
Okay.
Ernest was the denim god.
There is a
Yeah.
finite number of saints, but there's quite a lot. So we know that Neil made an incredible ass pull with Bierce once, and it was Ambrose Bierce, so we're going to say St. Ambrose.
And that is the hint.
Wow.
St. Ambrose. Okay, round 2, question 9. Ceci n'est pas une pipe.
I'll bleep that.
Ren Magritte's 1964 painting, The Son of Man, depicts a man in a bowler hat and a suit with what object covering his face?
Reluctant.
Yep.
I actually made a Photoshop of this for an NFT project I was working on to date when that happened, 2021. Gaudi, do you have any ideas here before I give the answer?
No, I'm not sure about it. No.
Yeah, this is a popular fruit, very big in New York. We said apple.
Yeah, it's not a pipe, right, Jeff?
That is correct.
It's an apple. A green one.
It is a green apple. Round 2, question 10. This one's for Jeff. In the 30 Rock episode Up All Night, Jack Donaghy finalizes his divorce from Bianca, played by Isabella Rossellini. After being legally separated since 1989, Bianca is surprisingly willing to meet all of Jack's demands, including letting him keep the box she taught their dog to poop in. Although at first she is hesitant, she ultimately lets him have full stake in the franchises of what fast food restaurant. This chain was founded in 1964 with the intention of selling an alternative to hamburgers. Aside from their signature sandwich, they have tried selling many other menu options. I feel like they should stick to what they're good at.
All right, we're locked in.
Did you write the answer down as I was reading the question?
Usually that doesn't work for Jeff, but it seems like he might have gotten it this time.
Yeah, he's very proud of himself.
Jeff's a good boy.
Who's a good boy?
He poops in his box.
Yeah.
We have a little box here in the studio. That's why it's the Sweat Lodge. Jeff takes a little dumpy every once in a while.
$200 patrons, that can be yours.
With a little triviality on the side.
Yeah. I feel so gross.
And guess what the catnip is? It's just sawdust from his woodworking.
That's the Jeff box. Don't pick that one. Gaudi, my initial thought was roast beef. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think we're thinking Arby's.
Arby, yeah.
They have the meats, not always burgers. Do they have Arby's over there?
Nope, we don't have Arby's here.
Lucky.
You're lucky.
I'm so hungry. I could eat at Arby's. Wow,
Yeah.
she is hungry. Wow.
She is hungry. Yeah, let's lock in with Arby's.
Yeah, they were arguing over the Arby's located in Telluride, Colorado. So,
Oh, Johnny, you know I love my big beef and cheddar. Yes, it is Arby's.
And Gaudi, you have Febo, right? Or
Yeah.
Febo, I don't know how to pronounce it, but with the little doors
Febo.
where you
Yeah.
order. And
Yeah.
I wish we had something like that, where you just open a little compartment and it comes out. After the second round is completed here, it looks like both teams are going to pick up 40 points, which keeps the lead somewhat sizable. But we have Mortgage Death Note with 131 and Improper But Legal with 159. So it is anyone's game depending on these wagers. So
Nobody is mathematically eliminated yet.
that's true. Before we get to the final round, just wanted to say, come join us over at Patreon, patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. And you too can have an epic day with Triviality. That's what you had, Bethy. And we got a chance to hang out with you and your sister. Did you have fun that day?
I had a blast.
Awesome. Well, we had a blast too hanging out with you. And Gaudi, do you listen to all the bonus episodes that we put out?
Not all of them, but like things that I'm interested in. I'm like, oh, I like this one, and then see how many things I can answer. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to listen to all of them, but they're there. There's over 60 hours of content.
Yeah. They are there. We promise.
We promise. There's a crop drop, and now we have weekly bonuses. So every week you're going to get a new bonus, a new trivia bonus hosted by us, plus the crop drop. And you can get all of that at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. But most of all, you don't have to hear us talking about podcasts or, well, Patreon anymore.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Bethy, what are the final round categories to see what these teams can wager?
I decided to make the final round categories about a few of my favorite things. So number 1 is Harry Potter. The second category, number 2, is American football. Number 3...
The sport or the Midwest emo band?
I didn't know about the band. Yeah. Number 3 is true crime. Category 4 is art history. And category 5 is peanut butter.
My wager will be very different if it's the Midwest emo band.
The wagers are now locked in. Arby's has the meats. We have the wagers. Let's go back to Bethy for the questions, and we'll see how it all shakes out.
Okay. Question 1 in Harry Potter. There's a ton of Latin in Harry Potter. I myself took 4 years of Latin. This knowledge has generally helped me figure out the meaning of words, and when reading Harry Potter, often helped me figure out what different magical spells did. What does the spell hominem revelio mean, and thus do for the caster? In American football, in 2007, which Dallas wide receiver was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? He played his entire 12-year career with the Cowboys until retiring after the 1999 season.
Texas Big Arms.
In true crime, in her book, The Stranger Beside Me, Anne Rule describes her friend. I liked him immediately. As far as his appeal to women, I can remember thinking that if I were younger and single, or if my daughters were older, this would be almost the perfect man. The same man later confessed to 30 murders of women in 7 states. Who was her friend? In art history, apparently, when Michelangelo was sculpting his David statue, there was a bit of a rivalry between him and a few other Renaissance artists regarding who could create the best David statue. Michelangelo has gone down in history as the victor, but I am personally a fan of the David created by one of his rivals. It captures David in the act of hurling a stone. This sculptor created many other famous works, including a bust of Christ and the ecstasy of St. Teresa. But arguably, his greatest work was both the design of the Vatican Square and the facade and interior of St. Peter's Basilica. What sculptor and architect's greatest work was St. Peter's and Vatican Square? And lastly, but not least, in peanut butter. Within 5%, what percentage of a jar of peanut butter must be peanuts for it to be considered peanut butter? If it contains less than this percentage, it is considered peanut butter spread.
All right, we have the questions, and we will be right back to find out who will be today's cream of the crop. And we are back, and we have some answers. Let's see what happens, and get those questions one more time.
Okay. Number 1, what does the spell hominem revelio mean and thus do for the caster?
We said it reveals a person for 20 points, so maybe it returns them from invisibility.
Reveal yourself for 15 points.
Okay, and yes, it means to reveal a hidden person.
Okay. 15 points for them, 20 for us.
Okay. In 2007, which Dallas wide receiver was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
All right. Well, we didn't really know. Good thing we only wagered 10 points. Tex Long Arms was not accepted as an answer. We went with Emmett Smith.
Yeah, Jeff was dancing all over the answer, but he couldn't quite get there. This is Michael Irvin.
That is correct.
How many points did you wager?
We wagered 30 because it's football, and I love football.
Do you love the Cowboys?
Some Cowboys.
In her book, The Stranger Beside Me, Anne Rule describes her friend, who would later confess to 30 murders, who was her friend.
We said Ted Bundy for 20 points.
We said Ted Bundy as well, but for 30 points.
Good for you guys.
30 murders and 30 points for you all. Yes,
Good
it was
ratio.
Ted Bundy. All right. Question 4. What sculptor and architect's greatest work was St. Peter's in Vatican Square?
All right. For another 20 points, we were deciding between Ninja Turtles, and we went Raphael for this one.
Yes, we were also between the one who is rude and one who does machines, and we went with the rude dude, Raphael.
Unfortunately, no points. His name is Bernini.
And what What did you wager?
And we wagered 10 on that one because we don't know anything about art.
The Lost Turtle, Bernini.
Okay. And within 5%, what percentage of a jar of peanut butter must be peanuts for it to be considered peanut butter and not peanut butter spread?
All right. For our last 20 points, we said 80%.
We wagered 10. We thought that this was a comically low threshold, and we said 15%.
Darn. I have no points. It's 90%.
Wow. That's a lot of peanuts.
Well, that's all she wrote. And thanks to the final round here, we might have a very exciting finish. It looks like Improper But Legal only going to be losing 10 points in the final round, bringing their total to 149. But thanks to their wagering, Mortgage Death Note picking up 55 points, bringing their total to 186, making them today's cream of the crop.
I am the cream.
Shout out to Ted Bundy, everyone. All right. What?
Shout out to Ted.
Shout out to Ted Bundy. We win.
Let's not shout out Ted.
Let's not. Okay.
Gaudi, it's so nice to see you again, to have you back on the show. How does it feel to be the cream of the crop today? And any last messages before we let you go today?
It's nice being the cream of the crop. We had a bad start, but a good finish. I don't really have anything interesting to mention. Probably I'm joining my pub quiz group tomorrow again. So.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, well, good luck.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can pull a win out tomorrow, too. This will be the nice practice you need.
Probably. Yeah, exactly.
It's always a pleasure having you on the show.
It was great being here again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
And Bethy, thank you for coming into the studio. You braved the sweat lodge once again and Jeff's poop box. And is there any last messages before we let you go today?
Yeah, I just want to shout out my sister Bridget, and then Louie, May, Dave Nelson, and Dave Kantorski, who all are in the crop and helped me do some play testing. Helped me maybe nix some hints, add some hints in, nix some questions, and make it a better game.
What a fabulous group of people that was that you listed.
They
Thank you
had
to those folks.
nick some answers, some questions, but no questions about Bo Nix, Matt, unfortunately. Well, thank you, Bethy and Gaudi, for joining us on the show. But we have one more thanks to give, Ken.
That's right. Airwave Media, as always, our network. You can find them at airwavemedia.com. Check out such shows as Wiser World, Pax Britannica, and how about Emotional Badass? Got to check those out.
Yeah, we're hoping maybe in the future there's going to be a K-Pax Britannica podcast as well.
My favorite film.
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much to Bethy and Gaudi for being here, and for Ken, Matt, and Jeff. My name is Neil, and that was another episode of Triviality. See you next week.